Hi everyone, this is John with NeoWin, and today we're taking a look at the OPPO Reno4 Pro 5G. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this might be one of my favorite unboxings yet. And it's not because the phone itself is crazy innovative or the most powerful thing I've ever seen. It's all about the color in this one. But I'll just give you a little background before that. I believe this was launched in China back in the summer, earlier in the summer, like June or July. And then they announced the Indian version, and that was only 4G. I reviewed it on NeoWin. You can check that out. But then last month they announced the phones for Europe, and it's actually the 5G version this time. It comes in, I believe, the same colors that it was available in China, which is very interesting. And they showed off this green color, this green glitter, and let me tell you, lime green is my favorite color usually, or variants of that sort of tone with the yellow and green, sort of that in between yellow and green. So when I saw this, I couldn't not try it. So OPPO sent me the green glitter version, and the box itself is right away just beautiful. But let's actually open it up. So we take that off. The inside of the box is also green with that beautiful sheen all around. It's incredible. I just love the box. It's amazing. And then this little sleeve here, which has the manuals and stuff and regulatory information and all that. It's also green all around. Again, absolutely beautiful. Even the inside, I think, is green. Yeah, it doesn't have the same sheen on the inside, but it's still green. That's just beautiful. And then we get to the phone itself, and again, beautiful. This is all green all around. The phone's there. You can also see that it's green in the frame, but we'll take a look at it a little more closely in a bit. This is all green. We'll lift that up. We're not done with green yet. There's more green. And it includes this case, which I actually think is very cool. So it's green on the back. It's a different kind of green compared to what we see in most of the box. It has this interesting green glitter text that actually has a cool sort of effect to it and looks really nice. And it's a minimalist case in the sense that it doesn't cover the sides. It only just tries to protect the most fragile parts of the phone, which are the corners. And it still has a very cool identity because cases that come in the box are usually just like transparent. There's really not much to them. But this one looks really cool in my opinion. And it just stays in the theme of the color. So I love it. We take that off as well. We see that the charger itself says green glitter there. It's white, but the text is colored. So that's something. I wonder if the USB port is also colored like that. Oh no, it's just white. That's a shame. Oh, it does have a green glitter color tag thing there. The earbuds, of course, also the green glitter color. And here we have the cable, the charging cable, which is also green. But not only that, this isn't even just rubber. This is a braided cable. And it looks really cool. And that's actually very nice that they decided to do that. I'm looking here. Apparently the plug is still yellow. That's the color OPPO uses for their Super VOOC chargers, the 65 watt charging speeds. I kind of wish they made that glitter green as well to just go with the theme. But, oh well, I guess you can't have it all. So, still, this is a lot of green, and I am a huge fan of that. So now we'll just set the box off to the side for a bit and take a look at the phone. So there's this plastic wrap that we have to take out, and there it is. You can kind of see the green around the edges right away. And it's a much more subtle green on the frame, of course, as you'd expect. But then on the back, it's this beautiful, beautiful green. And there's a couple of interesting things about it. So most of the backing, which I think is plastic, I can't tell for sure. They use very interesting plastic. But I think this is plastic like the 4G version of the Reno 4 Pro. But that one also tricked me for a bit. But yeah, it feels nice. I wouldn't immediately say it's plastic, but I think it is. But anyways, there's some cool things about the design because it's got this matte finish, which is very cool. It's very soft to the touch and stuff. And then around the camera module here, it's glossy, just like the Reno 4 Pro I reviewed before. But then it has the green glitter text here on the side, and that's also glossy. And you actually feel it when you go over the letters with your fingers, and even the OPPO branding up here is glossy. So that's really interesting. And then the color tag here, the Pantone green glitter color tag, is also glossy. So it's this really interesting feeling. I think it makes it more grippy to have that glossy finish in some parts, but for the most part, it still feels really soft and really nice. So yes, this is a gorgeous phone, simply and exclusively because of the color. I love this green so much. Even the antenna bands there are following the color theme. So I love this a lot. Now let's take a quick look at the cameras here. So we have 3 cameras, which is not as many as we have on the 4G version of this phone. But this is actually better, I would say. So the main camera is still a 48 megapixel Sony IMX586, a very common sensor these days. So that's sort of the same. But then we have the wide angle camera here. And in this case, it's a 12 megapixel sensor instead of the 8 megapixels that was on the 4G version. And also this combines the macro camera into the wide angle camera. So you don't need, on the Reno 4 Pro, the 4G version, you had a separate macro camera that was only 2 megapixel. Here you have everything in one camera, which is an approach I much prefer. I always feel like the 2 megapixel macro cameras are completely useless and just a dumb way to add some sort of selling point to the spec sheet. So this I prefer a lot. And also there's this ultra night video mode that OPPO is promoting for the wide angle camera. So it'll be very interesting if you can get good low light performance for video in this wide angle camera. I think that could look really nice. And then finally we have the 13 megapixel telephoto camera. And for me, this is like the perfect camera setup when you have a main camera, a wide angle, and then a telephoto, and just the ability to go from very zoomed out shots to zooming all the way in. I think that's really cool. And that's way better than what we had on the Reno 4 Pro, because there you had the macro camera, 2 megapixel, like I mentioned before. And then you had the monochrome camera, which is also 2 megapixel. And it had some interesting features in the video department. You could make this color pop sort of filter where everything would be black and white except the colors you chose. It was interesting. It was fun. I will say it was somewhat fun. But I feel this is more useful, and the cameras here seem way more high quality in terms of the resolution. So I much prefer this approach compared to what they did in the 4G version of this phone. Of course, I have to test it to know for sure, but on paper, this looks more interesting. So going around the phone, this is pretty standard for OPPO. You got the power button with a little green accent, which interestingly pops out a little bit less now because the whole phone is green. And we got antennas on the sides. This is a 5G phone, so there are maybe more antenna bands than usual. A couple more antenna bands up here, and a microphone. And the volume rocker is here. And on the bottom, you have a lot of things. The bottom firing speaker, USB Type-C, another microphone, and the SIM card slot. I've grown to quite like OPPO's designs. The frame is still metal, I believe. It feels pretty solid, only the back is plastic. But this feels very nice. The frame feels very good. And I do like OPPO. The buttons here are pretty nice. Everything's very nice. I'm a fan of it. So now I'll turn on the phone. This is a 6.56 inch, I believe, display. Full HD plus 2400 by 1080. And AMOLED. And it has a 90 Hz refresh rate. So it's pretty much the same screen as the 4G version of the Reno 4 Pro. Not many differences there. But let's just turn this phone on. I'll set it up because I haven't done that yet. And I will be right back. So the phone is now set up. I chose the default theme when setting it up, and apparently there's this special green glitter theme based on it's exclusive to this color variant, and I hate it. So let's just get that out of the way. The theme they're using here, I don't like these icons whatsoever. Obviously, they have the colors going to fall in line with the rest, but I really don't like it. You do get the option to change it out of the box. You can change it back to OPPO's standard default theme here, which I much prefer. And you can also customize the icons as before. The software experience here is very much just like every other OPPO phone. This is still running ColorOS 7.2 based on Android 10. So no big changes here. Android 11 will probably be coming later in the year. So everything here is very, very familiar. The camera app has the same interface. There's the same sort of apps you've gotten used to seeing from OPPO, the Clone Phone app, Game Space, Phone Manager, OPPO Relax, and Loop, which is like a video editing sort of app. So that's OPPO stuff, and the rest is just standard, either Google stuff or just basic phone features like the calculator. So very, very familiar. The settings, all the same options you're used to. It's all very familiar if you've used an OPPO phone before, or if you've seen my previous reviews. Nothing has really changed much here. I do really like OPPO's skin more than I thought I would when I first started testing their phones. Everything is very smooth. The icons are pretty minimalistic. It's nice. It's actually quite nice. So I like the skin here. And also this is a 90 Hz display. So that really helps with the smoothness of everything and the transitions. So just to round this out, because I actually haven't mentioned the specs yet, I was just so excited about the camera. This has a Snapdragon 765G 5G chipset, so you get 5G support. Like I said, there's the antenna bands and everything to make 5G work a little better. That's not something I can test because 5G isn't available in Portugal yet, but still. There's 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. So this is a bit of an upgrade over the 4G version in multiple ways. It has more RAM, more storage, a faster chipset, and 5G support. But it's also significantly more expensive. But then again, the 4G version isn't officially available in Europe, so it doesn't make much of a difference there. So this is $799 for the Galactic Blue and Space Black colors, and this limited edition green glitter version is €849. So it is a bit more expensive. But it's kind of in line with some other phones with this sort of specs. I believe the LG Velvet probably isn't very far from that, and it has some lesser specs in some areas. So this is a reasonable-ish price. So yeah, I'm excited to use this, mostly just because I want to have a green phone in my hands. But of course, I'll be taking a look at the rest of the phone. That being said, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys next time.